So
Whoops.
Whoops.
I'm gonna miss the first part of it. Those that don't attend this, but they'll just have to go in future, won't they? So, other uses of the verb querer, I love you, te quiero. The other verb to love is amar. Now, as far as I know, amar and querer are pretty much interchangeable. I've not come across any subtleties, but not many people have said they love me in Spanish. So I don't really know. I think you can. Te amo mucho. I love you a lot. Te quiero is. I think they're pretty much the same thing. They don't make any difference at all.
Eric,
Querido,
Eric,
means here. So
Eric, sorry to interrupt, Eric.
Yeah.
Can you use amar as an exaggerated way of saying I'd love a beer rather than querer, or is it only used in the love sense?
I think it's only used in the sense of loving a person, or you could say it to your dog, but not to your beer. I don't know. I've never used it. I've never used it in that sense. I mean, if you want to say I love beer or I like beer, you probably wouldn't say quiero cerveza. You'd probably say a mí me gusta la cerveza, or a mí me encanta la cerveza. But we'll come to the use of gustar to say you like something, and encantar to say that you love really like something. So you'd probably use those rather than amar. I think it would sound a bit odd. But maybe try it next time you're in Spain in a bar. Tell the barman that you love beer, and if he looks at you, come back and report it. These are the best ways to find out what works and what doesn't work in Spanish. Make a complete fool of yourself in a bar. It's a good way to learn. So, querido, querida means dear in the sense of my dear. So if you were writing to someone, if you're writing to me, you could start the letter querido Eric, dear Eric. That's just what the Spanish would do. Querida mía or querido mío means a term of endearment, my dear. So use it for children, grandchildren, wives or husbands. Hi, Carl. Carl, you raised your hand, but you've got your mic muted.
Sorry, forgot. Yeah. Would you do that even if it was a man-to-man sort of dear in a letter, or it's not just like if you write to your loved one?
Yeah, Carl, you've got to get in touch with your feminine side. Yeah. Well, would you? If I was writing to you, I'd probably say, if I was writing, we don't write letters very much. Write emails.
No.
Say, hi, Carl. But if I was writing a letter, I'd say, dear Carl.
Yeah, but and you use it in business as well. It does just mean that the translation of beer, of dear. Like if you're saying dear Mr. Ramez or something.
If you're writing a business letter, you'd probably say estimado señor, which is,
Right. So whereas in this country we would say dear Mr. You wouldn't use dear in that respect.
You'd probably say, because it's formal, you'd probably say estimado señor Kingston.
Right. Okay.
But an informal letter.
We would use it. Okay. Thanks.
Querido Carl. Absolutely. So that's querer. I've added querer to our list of verbs. So do take a look at it. Don't spend an hour learning the verbs. Try and spend 10 minutes every day just going through them and popping them into sentences and experimenting with different sentences. You Google Translate to check whether you get it right or not, and that's definitely the best way to learn. I've put a link to a video in the lesson notes, which has I think it might be an annoying song, but I can't quite remember.
Yeah.
Has anybody checked the video out?
No.
Was it an annoying song, or is it a
That lullaby type song where the mother's working in the field?
I see. Yeah. Okay, so let's move across to tener. Tener means to have. It's used in Spanish for to say I have, and you have, etc., etc. But it's also used for certain other things too. You commonly hear tengo que, which means I have to, or tengo que, do I have to? And that's very, very common. Carl, if you wanted to say we have to, what would you say?
Tenemos.
Tenemos que.
Tenemos que.
Yeah, tenemos, yeah. And if you were telling somebody you have to, tienes que or tiene que. It works for all the different conjugations. Tener also is used where in English we would say I am. So in English we'd say I am thirsty, or I am hot, I am cold, I am hungry. And that makes good sense to us. But in Spanish, they don't use estar, they use tener. So tengo hambre, I have hunger. Tengo sed, I have thirst, is what they'd say if I'm thirsty. They would never say estoy hambre, estoy sed. Works like that. Lots and lots of instances. Being hungry, being hot, being cold. And you can use it to ask questions. ¿Tienes hambre? Are you hungry? ¿Tienes frío? Are you cold? ¿Tienes calor? Are you hot? So it's useful. It's useful there. So here's the different conjugations. Tengo, stick a G in it. Tienes, tiene, tenemos, tenéis, tienen. And I've put the preterite in. We're not doing a great deal of past tense preterite right now, but the past tense of tener is really useful for basic conversation, for saying that you have done something, you know, tu vais ver, I have seen, that kind of thing. Tu viste, you had. Tuvo, you had. Tuvimos, we had. Tu visteis and tuvieron. So all we'll need those at some stage. Maybe not right away, but definitely get the present into your heads and be able to express all those different conjugations. So a few examples in the present tense. Salir esta noche. I have to go out tonight. Tienes frío? Tienes frío? Are you cold? They also use it to say how old somebody is. They say, how many years do you have? Or how many years, in this case, does she have? ¿Cuántos años tiene ella? How old is she? How many years does she have? And you also use it to say how old somebody is. So, ella tiene 16 años. She's 16 years old. Do you have a headache? Tiene un dolor de cabeza? And do I have to change train? Tengo que transbordar. Useful. So tengo que, definitely one to remember. Do I have to? Or tenemos que, do we have to if you're walking around Spain as a couple? And also for I'm hot, we're hot, you would use tenemos calor, tenemos frío. So that's good. Any questions on tener? No. Carl's still got his hand up, but I think that's from before, isn't it, Carl? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you haven't cleared it. So I think
Do
you
I
clear.
do I?
I think you clear it. Yeah.
Right.
I'm not sure how, but I know when I was on one before.
Yeah, no, there we go. That's it. I've lowered your hand. You didn't. You didn't. There we go. So a few examples in the preterite. No tuvimos suerte. We had no luck. You'd often use tener in the past tense to say, did you have a nice time, or did you have a nice holiday? Tuviste unas buen vacaciones, or something like that. Tuve unas vacaciones terribles. I had a terrible holiday. Tuvimos unas vacaciones terribles. We had a terrible holiday. Holiday is one of those nouns in Spanish that's always plural. You know, you don't have a holiday, you have holidays. Don't know why. Doesn't matter whether it lasts a day or a week or 2 weeks. It's always plural. Tuve un buen viaje. I had a good journey. Tuve que hacerlo. I had to do it. All in the preterite. So we've been learning a lot of new verbs and a lot of little chit chat. So I thought we'd just do a bit of revision. One of the hardest things when you're starting to learn Spanish is thinking in Spanish. And the only way you can really do that is to start to chat as much as you can in Spanish, and just go through that sort of, oh, what's the word? I can't think of the word. I've been put on the spot. So we're going to have a little practice now. And we normally do this in class as a sort of speed dating type exercise, where people will come round and they'll sit face to face for a minute, and they'll go through these questions. But we can't really do that on Zoom. So provided the technology works okay, I'm going to pair you up. I'm not going to pair you up with your husband or your wife. And let's imagine we're at a drinks party with a nice glass in our hands. I've got a glass of water, but it could be a glass of wine. And talk to the other person and find out the following: names, where they're from, where they live now, whether they speak Spanish, and whether they speak any other languages. So I did do a little sample, I think, in the lesson notes. Try to make it as natural a conversation as you can under the circumstances. We'll also I've also put a few little hints here where you might want to write down and ask for help. Necesito ayuda, por favor. I need help, please. Puede ayudarme, por favor. Can you help, please? Lo siento, no te entendí. I'm sorry, I didn't understand you. Or in the present, lo siento, no entiendo. I'm sorry, I don't understand. Más despacio, por favor. More slowly, please. You can, if you want a few more, you can say, if you're getting tripped up, you can say, you first, tu primero. You can say, tell me, which is dígame in the formal, or dime in formal. So shall we? Let's pair up and let's go through the conversation. We're all going to listen, and we're all going to think, thank goodness that wasn't me chosen first. So I'm going to start off by choosing a couple of experts. Now let's look down my list for a couple of experts. So Giselle, I know your Spanish is very good. And what about Adrian? He's not been here for a while, so I think we should pick on Adrian. So Adrian and Giselle, do you want to your eyes meet, you don't know each other, but you're at a nice party, as you think we'll pop across and introduce ourselves. Off you go.
Hola,
Hola.
¿qué tal?
Estoy bien, gracias. ¿Y tú?
Muy bien. ¿Cómo se llama?
Me llamo Adrian. ¿Y tú?
Me llamo Giselle.
¿De dónde eres?
Soy de Gran Bretaña. ¿Y tú?
Nací en París, pero ahora vivo en Peterborough.
Vivo en Peterborough también. ¿Hablas español?
Hablo un poquito español. ¿Y tú?
Hablo un poco español. Hablo alemán. ¿Hablas otros idiomas?
Hablo francés.
Muy bien.
Well done, you two. Excellent work. It's really weird, isn't it, when you have to do it in a situation like this.
I cheated a bit. Every time Giselle asked a question, I answered it and then said E2.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what we do in English, isn't it? Exactly what we do here. So I don't think that's cheating at all. I think that's just regular chat. Don't feel that that's cheating. Well done. The only thing I might have said there was, I think, Giselle, when you asked Adrian's name, I think you said como se llama, which of course, is that right? I don't know. Is that, maybe that's what you said. That's what it sounded like, which of course is formal. Now Adrian's a very distinguished chap, so we may address him in the formal, but como te llamas would be the informal address. Okay, well done, really well done. Set the bar quite high there. So let's choose two more victims. Let's choose somebody with a little less experience than those two, should we? Ian, how about you? Are you feeling up for that?
Yes, all right.
Yeah, and we'll pair you with somebody who's done the class already. How about Leslie? Leslie Adolfson? Yeah. Oh, we're puffing your cheeks out. Ian's not that
dreading this.
Yeah. So,
Okay, off you go. Just muddle your way through. That's what we need to do.
Buenos dias, Leslie.
Buenos dias. Who is it? Ian.
Yes, Ian.
Already, I'm like, oh. Buenos dias, Ian.
¿Cómo est? ¿Tú?
Oh, muy bien. ¿Y tú?
Muy bien. ¿Dónde está? Soy. ¿Dónde?
Yeah. ¿Dónde estás, Leslie? Would be, yeah.
Where am I?
No, sorry.
¿De dónde eres?
Don't listen to me. I'm just throwing everybody out. No, you say where are you from? ¿Dónde eres?
Yes, sí.
¿Dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
Yeah.
Okay. Soy de Inglaterra. And vivo en Deeping St. James, cerca de Peterborough y Stamford.
Oh, yeah, best of both worlds there.
¿Y tú?
Soy de Inglaterra. Vivo en Helpston, cerca de Stamford.
Cerca de Deeping St. James.
Sí.
Sí. Okay.
¿Hablo español?
Un poco. ¿Y tú?
Yo hablo español un poco.
Okay. ¿Hablas otro idioma?
No. ¿Y tú? English badly.
Poco de francés.
Muy bien, muy bien.
Bien.
Well done, you two.
Gracias.
You'd join me in saying that's a really hard exercise, isn't it? Because you throw into the deep end. You have to think in Spanish, and it throws everybody. It throws me every time. I always when I'm in a Spanish country, if I go to Ecuador, everybody's speaking Spanish all the time. I really have to sort of reset my brain, get myself prepared for a conversation, and have a few stock phrases that I know I'm going to be able to pull out. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Well done, the two of you. Thank you for letting me put you on the spot. So we'll have another go at that, I think. I think we'll have another go at that next week. So nobody's going to turn up next week, are they? Let's have a little practice to yourself. Just get those, you know it's coming. Just get a few of those stock phrases in your head. E2 is a great shortcut, yeah. And you, yeah. Or if somebody says something to you, you can say "mi también," me as well. You know, they're just the sort of shortcuts that we use in English. Get a few of those in your head in Spanish, and that will be really useful. Okay, so we're going to talk about double verbs here. We've used examples of this quite a bit today. So I want to hire. Quiero alquilar. Alquilar is the verb to hire. When you get two verbs together in Spanish, conjugate the first verb and the following verb stays in the infinitive form, the to form in English. So, I want to speak. Quiero hablar. I want to speak. You conjugate quiero, but you don't conjugate hablar. You don't say quiero hablo. Quiero hablar. I want to speak. Do you want to speak? ¿Quieres hablar? Again, conjugate the first verb. Don't conjugate the second. I'm going to buy a car. Voy a comprar un coche. I'm going to buy. So with voy is always followed by a, voy a comprar. Comprar is in the infinitive. Queremos comer. We want to eat. Queremos comer. Comer is in the infinitive form, and it stays like that however you juggle the sentence around. So we don't want to eat. No queremos comer. I love it when you get two verbs together because I only have to remember one conjugation. It seems like a little bonus. We do it in English as well, of course, exactly the same. So there's nothing particularly unusual about Spanish. It just seems like a particularly good bonus not to have to worry about the second conjugation. So bear that in mind. When you get two verbs together, conjugate the first, don't conjugate the second. Where to put it? It in Spanish is lo. And where you put it varies. So if you have a conjugated verb, you want to say, I want it. It goes before the conjugated verb. So I want it is lo quiero. I don't want it, no lo quiero. It stays before the conjugated verb. Always in front. Lo hago, I'm doing it. Lo llevo, I'm carrying it. When you use it with a verb in the infinitive form, i.e. not conjugated, it hooks on the end of the verb that's in its infinitive form. So we've got two verbs together. We conjugate the first one. We don't conjugate the second, but we can hook the pronoun on the end of the second verb. So I don't want to eat it. No quiero comerlo. We don't say no lo quiero comer. We say no quiero comerlo. We want to do it. Queremos hacerlo. Not lo queremos hacer. Queremos hacerlo. Small point, easily overlooked. It'll get in your head with use. So that's where to put it. Okay, that's the end of the lesson. Thanks very much. Well done, everybody, especially those who were victimized today.
We have to do it next week.
Sorry, about next week?
I said we won't have to do it next week.
Well, I might choose you just
Don't
as
you believe it?
Speaker, because you've done it before. Apologies to those who are listening to the recording. I missed the first part of the lesson. It was inevitable I did that at some stage of the year. For homework this week, I'll send round a couple of things to keep you occupied, but do keep checking your verb list. Do spend a few minutes each day just going through that. That's the best way to learn. I also sent round a video of a Latin American folk song called Duerme Negrito. I think it's one thing learning a language, but you really, if you're going to understand the language and you're going to speak it well, I think you have to understand a little bit about the culture of the places. So I'm going to use a few songs to do that. I won't play them during the hour-long lesson. I normally play them when we've got an actual lesson in a couple of hours. I normally play it in class. And we'll talk about it. But I'm going to send it round to you as a little extra. They're all on YouTube. Take a look at them. See if you can read the Spanish words as the song's being sung. It's quite a good way to get the rhythm and the meter of the language into your head, and also teaches you a few colloquialisms as well. So, that's it for today's lesson. Any questions from anybody?
No, fine, thank you.
No, all good, thanks.
Good, so well done. I'll see you all next week.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Adios.
Everybody.
Adiós, queridos amigos.
Ciao.
Adios.
Adios.
Ciao. Ciao. Nos vemos. Nos vemos.